Hi, I'm Kopal Khanna. I'm your host for this very special episode brought to you by Mastella India in order to celebrate Mother's Day. You have been a mom for 8 years now. Can you describe your journey as a mother to me?
It has been magical for me. I painted my nails well because I don't know when I'm going to do it next. As soon as we entered the labor room, like the first thing they did was they removed all my nail paints. I was like, no, don't do that to me. When I got pregnant, I realized that you cannot use all products, all ingredients. You have to check and you have to be sure. And during breastfeeding, you're not supposed to use a lot of unsafe ingredients and all of that.
Postpartum depression, did you feel any symptoms? If you're comfortable sharing with me, what was that journey like for you?
PPD, postpartum depression. During my time, there was not a lot of awareness. A lot of my relatives were going through it, but they couldn't talk about it. So pretty. I love the colors and everything. Okay, so it actually journals your entire journey.
Yes,
As a
it
new
does.
mother. Oh, beautiful. It is so amazing.
That
Oh,
says-
how pretty.
Thank you, Mom.
Thanks. What a beautiful gesture, guys.
Hi, I'm Kopal Khanna. I'm your host for this very special episode brought to you by Mastella India in order to celebrate Mother's Day. Well, Ma, Mummy, Amma, no matter what you call her, she is a very, very special person in all our lives. She knows exactly what to do for the family to keep it together. She knows exactly what to do to keep you happy. And this episode is going to be all about celebrating her and her warmth and her kindness and her journey. Well, as we all know, Mastella India is a France-based brand. They have been trusted by parents across the globe since 1950. They are, of course, all about offering you natural and very, very safe skincare products. And we are putting this episode together to celebrate them and the mothers that use these products and feel that warmth themselves. And today we have somebody very special joining us for this episode. We have Gunika Sethi with us. Hi, Gunika.
Hi, Kopal. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Gunika is, of course, a mom. She is a creator and she has a beautiful, wholesome community of parents that trust her for all the advice that she gives them. I am so excited to chat with you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Such a beautiful introduction.
Hey,
I'm
thank
so
you.
flattered.
Thank you. No, you deserve it.
Thank
and you have been a mom for 8 years now. It's almost a decade.
Yeah.
And if I give you a very tough question,
Okay.
can you describe your journey as a mother to me in like one sentence? How would you encapsulate these 8 years of being a boy mom?
In one sentence,
Yes.
it's difficult, but yes, I'll make it crisp and I'll tell you, it has been magical for me. It has been very magical. Me as a person, I never thought I could be a good mother or whatever, but the motherhood has brought a new person inside of me. And I've been only learning with my son as a mother. And yes, it has been magical.
Beautiful. No, magical is a great word to describe motherhood. Of course, now it's been 8 years, but
Yeah.
if I could take Gunika back to day one of becoming a mother, and now that you've lived these 8 years, what is something you would go back and tell that, mom on day one, Gunika?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. And I think I could tell her that take a chill pill. You got it. You got it, Gunika. You don't have to be perfect. You can make mistakes and you can learn from your mistakes. You are going to rock it.
How
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And I'm sure, like you mentioned that, you will make mistakes and you're going to learn from them. You, of course, learn a lot through this journey of motherhood, but has there been something very special that your little one has taught you?
I think everything I've been learning from him so much, and the most important thing that he's taught me is being patient. I, as a person, has always been very impatient, very restless, very I want to do things fast. But with him, I never knew I could be patient. And I think I'm still only patient with him. So, yes, he's brought that virtue in me. Yeah, that's the lesson.
And is there like a moment that you could go back to and be like, this is a moment I would want to hold on to forever? Like it comes back to you
course.
again and again, and it's
Of
a very
course.
precious memory.
Of course. So when he was born, I mean, I think it's with every mother, and especially with the firstborns, I feel. As soon as he touched me, as soon as, I mean, he came close to me, that moment is, impressioned in my mind, in my heart, and most special moment ever.
What does it feel like though, when you're obviously anticipating it to happen? It's
Yes.
been like a 9-month journey.
Yes.
There's been anticipation even before those 9 months. And when you finally hold the baby in your hands, what does that
It's
feel like?
unreal. I mean, you suddenly become a new person. I don't know. It's magical. It's you don't expect that you suddenly know about what's right for your baby, what's wrong for your baby. Nobody teaches you that. It just comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of being a mother.
Yeah.
That's
But you know what they say that of course your child is born, but it's also the rebirth of the
Yes.
mother.
Yes.
How much of that is true? How much?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You become a new person. You know things about your child that you never knew you would know. Nobody teaches you all of that, and it brings a lot of calmness to you. It brings a lot of knowledge to you, I feel. Yeah. So
Was it more scary? Was it more exciting? Was it nerve-wracking?
it was all of it, actually.
yeah.
It was very scary. And before I delivered my son, it's a funny story.
Yes, please.
My husband and I, we took a lot of CDs and DVDs to the room, like it's a hotel room, and we planned to watch movies and maybe series before we delivered. And he wanted me to, be relaxed and be calm and all of that. That was his way of handling the situation. Little did we know that as soon as we entered the labor room, like things were on me and the wires and all of that, and the process started. I was like, I don't get any time for myself. I just deliver the baby. But yeah.
Were you one of those moms who did her skincare and hair and makeup before you went for labor?
I did so much, actually. I over-prepared myself.
Yeah.
And again, another funny story.
Yeah.
I painted my nails because I don't know when I'm going to do it next. And the first thing they did was they removed all my nail paints. I was like, no, don't do that to me. Because you want to look good after you deliver also.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but is it a little bit of letting go of yourself in order to be more of a mother?
I don't know. I mean, for me, it wasn't never the case.
Yeah.
I held on to myself because I had the right support.
Yeah.
I had the right partner.
Yeah.
So I was myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's more about finding more about yourself rather
Yes.
than becoming the
Yeah,
lesser version. I've heard that it's you discover so many more things about yourself that you just kind of reinvent yourself as a person.
Like I mentioned, you become a new person. You are a new person.
Yeah.
You don't know so much about yourself before you're a mother. And motherhood teaches you so many virtues you didn't know about yourself, like patience, like knowledge, like instincts, like your gut, your whatever feelings that you have. And that bond is so weird. You don't have that bond with anybody else but your baby. That cannot be described in words.
So true. We spoke a little bit about skincare, your personal skincare, of course. Let's dive a little bit deeper into, the journey of skincare, self-love, both for you and your child, right? So just starting with you, were you somebody who was always into taking care of your skin? How did that change once you were in your postpartum phase? Tell me a little bit more about that.
So I was always into skincare, actually. I mean, after I got married, I was a little extra into skincare. I wanted to explore, learn new things, and I was always, learning things about skincare and all. But when I got pregnant, I realized that you cannot use all products, all ingredients. You have to check and you have to be sure. And then even after I delivered, So you don't have to use certain set of ingredients on your skin. So yeah, I was learning a lot during my pregnancy, after I delivered. And during breastfeeding, you're not supposed to use a lot of unsafe ingredients and all of that. So yeah, skincare has been a journey for me, and I've learned a lot. And every phase has a different, use. You tend to use different products, so you're learning.
And is this like, was this one of the reasons why you decided to also like share your journey on Instagram?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because what happened with me was I never had acne during my growing up. I was always a clear skin girl.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to do a lot of skincare and all. But after I delivered, my hormones started acting up and my face was full of acne. And I was like, what just happened? What went wrong? So I started diving more into this. And then I started sharing this knowledge with my audience on my Instagram. So that's how my journey also started as a content creator.
How nice is that? Because adult acne, like people talk about teenage acne, but nobody's
Nobody
talking
talks.
about
Yeah,
adult
yeah.
acne, and it's the worst.
It is.
How did that affect your?
Oh, a lot. Actually, a lot. Like it left a mark on my confidence to another level. I did want to do a lot of skincare. I did want to do a lot of treatments, but I couldn't because I was breastfeeding, and you're not supposed to, experiment a lot. You can only do what your doctor prescribe. So yeah, but it took its own time. But now I'm back on track.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yes,
you look
yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
And of course, for your child as well, how did you, as a mother, take on to that journey as, keeping your child's skin the healthiest? What was that journey like?
So I have always been that finicky mother, we all see. Yes, I have been the finicky one. And I made sure that I read through all the ingredients before using anything on my baby's skin, because we all know it's very, very sensitive. And every baby is different. They have a different category of skin type. So I made sure it is only... all the products are baddies free, like we know, no phthalates, no sulfates, no parabens, etc.
Right.
But I made sure I follow a simplistic process, like not very complicated one, like a gentle body wash, gentle hydrating lotion.
Right. And what has been like your go-to routine for your boy?
Like I mentioned, gentle cleansing milk-based body wash, and then basic hair oil. Also, I like to share an incident with you, actually. So when Suhan was born, Suhan is the name of my son. So when Suhan was born, so we were overcautious and we wanted to give only the best to him. And what we did was we extracted pure almond oil using pure almonds and all, like in a desi manner. So it was 100% pure, and everybody asked me to do his malish using that. So we started doing that. And his skin flared up like anything, because it's supposed to be, it has a very warm, this thing, what do you call it? Tasir.
Yeah.
It didn't work well on his skin. It's supposed to be very, very pure. So I realized not everything that's 100% pure has to be used on your baby's skin directly. It has to be mixed with the right, it has to have that balance.
Right.
And that's why I had to, look for the products that are very safe for your baby's skin. They have the right pH balance and all of it.
Gulika, very interestingly, you mentioned ingredients that one can avoid when they're taking care of their child's skin. What are some ingredients that you recommend when you're taking care of your child's skin?
Okay, if I talk about my son, 8-year-old story. So I was very particular about using only gentle skincare for him. So I used a lot of milk-based skincare for him. But recently I discovered that you should use oils and products which should have avocado oil, sunflower oil and all of that. And that I got to know through my sister. She just recently delivered and she's been using this Mastella baby massage oil and she's been loving it. I wish I had this during when my son was born, but yeah, this is working great for her.
Beautiful. Awesome. So avocado is the avocado you mentioned,
Yes,
right?
one of the ingredients that should be there for baby skincare.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. How important do you think is skincare for a child, right? Because I think mostly, like for me also, I discovered skincare like in my late 20s. Like before that,
We
it
all
was
do that,
always like,
yeah.
you're doing some basic stuff. How important do you think it is to start them early on with the right ingredients and all of those things?
Like I mentioned, don't overcomplicate it, make it very simple and don't use home or kitchen ingredients, especially on your baby.
Yeah.
You should not use it on yourself also. And it's a myth that's floating in the market everywhere since it's been years. So I'll very strongly recommend not to use home or kitchen based products on your baby's skin, please.
Right.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to from here move to something that is very close to my heart. I mean, it's something that I wish more and more people spoke about.
Okay.
When it came to mothers. But unfortunately, there aren't many conversations. So I'm glad that, we can have one now. It's about postpartum depression
Okay.
and the mental health of especially a new mom. Early on in the interview, you mentioned that day one was just magical,
Yes,
right? Holding a
yes,
child
yes,
for the first time. And, people don't know, but you enter the fourth trimester from there, right? Like that's
True.
what
That's what
you
it's
call it.
called,
It's not
yes.
the end of your pregnancy. It's the start of the fourth trimester, basically. Did you feel postpartum depression? Did you feel any symptoms? If you're comfortable sharing with me, what was that journey like for you?
See, of course, it depends from every new mother. For me, luckily, I've been blessed, like I mentioned, and I didn't have any symptoms or any such thoughts or feelings. But I'm so glad now we guys have a platform. New mothers are more aware about PPD, postpartum depression. During my time, there was not a lot of awareness. It's just that I didn't face all of it. I had a good partner, I had a good family to support me and all of that. But yes, I knew a lot of my friends were going through. A lot of my relatives were going through, but they couldn't talk about it. You could feel it, you could sense it, that something was off. But yeah, I think girls should start talking about it.
You mentioned that some of your friends were going through it.
Yes.
Could you tell me a little bit more, like what are some of the symptoms that they discussed with you that they were feeling when they entered their fourth trimester?
While you're talking, I'm getting the goosebumps literally when I'm remembering those times. They used to just disconnect themselves. And I think that is the first biggest symptom that the people around should notice in a new mother, that you cannot disconnect yourself. You have to share, you have to talk, you have to be vocal about what you're feeling, how you're feeling, and why you're feeling that. And it's very natural, and it is absolutely okay to feel like that. So, and if you do share, you have the right people around you, you will come out of it. So yeah, these are the few symptoms. People disconnect.
And what are the kind of things like your family can do to kind of ensure that you're in a good mental state?
In a very layman term, I'll say taking turns.
Yeah.
You need to have those set of people around you who take turns in taking care of your baby, in diaper changing, in giving bath, massage, feeding, maybe giving formula if needed be, and just letting the mother sleep for some time. Because mothers don't get the sleep. And it's okay, it's pretty natural. You also fall into that pattern eventually. But yes, you need to have that right set of people around you who take turns, who help you, who divide the duties.
And what do you feel about the lack of conversation around this topic? Like, very few people are talking about postpartum. Most people don't even know that something like that exists. So what is like your thought?
I think now the time is changing. Now people are becoming more aware because of platforms like this. People have started accepting the fact that yes, something is off. I am not feeling right, and they've started talking about it, which was not existing like few years ago. Even when I delivered and all of that. I think it's been 3-4 years that people have started talking about it. And one should totally talk about it.
Right. And you mentioned that you had a relatively smoother postpartum. What are some of the things that you did in order to, of course, your family, your husband supported, but what are some of the things that you did to kind of take care of your mental health, your peace, your body, your skin? Do you remember, like from 8 years ago?
I do. I actually, since I mentioned I had a very supportive, people around me, I started creating content.
Nice.
So my son was sleeping a lot of time when he was just a newborn, and that was the time I started working. Because I had a break during my pregnancy, and I thought I cannot sit idle. I have to occupy myself. And if you're occupied enough, you're sorted. If you're sitting free, just taking care of the baby, things will go haywire. you have to occupy yourself with anything that you think will engage you, will keep you happy. Maybe reading, maybe dancing,
Yeah.
maybe going to the gym.
Yeah.
I was never a gym girl. But yeah, you have to figure out that one thing that keeps you happy, motivated, and driven.
Yeah. No, that's great advice. That's really good advice. In fact, Mastella India has come up with this very beautiful journal called the Parenting Journal that can be your partner in this postpartum journey. It can, be your companion when you kind of want to vent, when you're frustrated.
Yes.
It can help you when when you're feeling a lot of gratitude and you want to kind of pen down that moment and remember it.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a gorgeous journal, very beautiful. I would love
Can
if
I have a
somebody
look?
can. Yes, I would love it if somebody can pass it to us. Thank you so much. Thank you. You wanna have a look?
Yes.
Love that grows. Can I have another one? If
It's so
we
pretty. I love the colors and everything. Okay. So it actually journals your entire journey.
Yes,
As a
it
new
does.
mother. Oh, beautiful.
So it's a gorgeous. You can add
Oh,
your photo here.
I wish I had this. It is so amazing.
Yeah.
You can actually capture mom's first diaper change.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a very beautiful, journal to kind of capture your entire initial journey, all your low moments, your high moments, and all of those things.
I'm
and
taking this, guys. It's very nice.
me too. In fact, I think journaling is something, of course, postpartum is different, but for me also, when I am too overwhelmed, journaling is something that has always helped me. So I think this is a beautiful initiative, and
Totally. I agree.
more and more people can have a friend by their side.
It's actually that only. You
Yeah.
can vent out your thoughts. You can
Yeah.
track so many things
Yeah.
that you might not remember later on.
Yeah, exactly.
And your child can also later on read
Yeah.
what all I did when.
And it
what
could
all
be like a very sweet bonding
Yes.
moment at
Yes,
a
I'm
later
sure,
point.
I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful job done.
Yes. Okay. From here, I have been seeing
Okay.
that you have a little bag.
It's not little.
I've always been very amused, when in these interviews, everybody asks like these celebs, what's in
Yeah.
your bag? And then they
Okay.
show like all these products.
We're doing
And I'm
that.
very curious to know what's in a mom's bag, what's in Kunika's bag.
Okay.
Can we please,
Let's.
if you're
let's give it
okay
a shot.
sharing.
Okay. So,
Okay.
typical mom bag.
What's in that bag?
There's a lot of stuff. I
Okay.
can't show all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sunnies,
Uh-huh.
wipes. So I have a after bite roll on for my son, sanitizer, like basic, some cash, and a sunscreen that I keep all the time with me. I use it, my son uses it. So yeah, these are the few things that I keep. And of course, my car keys.
Best. Perfect. No, thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's a bag full.
Yes, it is.
Also, there's like my sister, she has like a 3-year-old now. And there's one of the biggest frustrations for her in the initial journey was that there's a lot of advice that comes your way. Every single person is telling you, this is how you do things, this is how you don't do things, please don't eat this, eat that, la la la. There's so much going on. Was there like a moment of, tell me one moment of frustration and one really good set of advice that you probably received from your mother or your grandmom or somebody in a family that kind of you used and it was very, very helpful also?
So, on the advising part, don't even get me started. The amount of advice you get, not on a daily basis, but on an hourly basis. Trust you me on that. I mean, there's no one moment that's frustrating. Every advice you get is frustrating because, like I mentioned, you somewhere know what's right for your baby and what might work, what might not work. You have that gut feeling as a mother. And the good advice that I got from my mother and from my husband was keep yourself first. Everybody else will follow. The family will follow. Everything will be in place, but you have to prioritize yourself. And that actually helped a lot. So yeah, that's the advice that I actually worked upon.
It's so true. Like, I think there's such a there's so much conversation about mothers being selfless, and it's so important. Like, I feel like selfish is the wrong word,
Yeah.
but I think the more you love yourself, the more you're able to love others. So if you kind of
true.
sideline yourself in that entire journey, everything in the ecosystem kind of starts falling apart. So
not just in the motherhood journey, but I think when you enter this journey as a new wife, as a new daughter-in-law,
Yeah.
I told my husband actually when we got married, you keep me happy. I'll keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
And I think for a mother also that works. If the mother is happy, is feeling good, is in a secure place,
Yeah.
everything else will follow.
Yeah.
And will be intact and, good to go.
yeah.
So yeah, that's what.
Talking about mother being happy, do you is there one thing that your child does that kind of always makes you laugh, that makes you smile?
Oh, he's a funny boy.
Yeah.
He makes weird noises, funny sounds he makes, and not really laugh, but he pampers me a lot. He knows when Mama is a little annoyed and worked up or whatever. He'll pamper me like anything.
How nice.
He'll say, Mama, let's order something nice. He knows I love to eat junk food and all of that. So yeah, these things make me really happy.
Yeah, how beautiful. And I'm sure for you also having an online community of mothers would have been a very important part of this journey, being surrounded by moms.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that also.
Of course. So not just on Instagram. So there are a lot of other support groups also on other platforms. We had a beautiful group of mothers from the hospital where I delivered.
Oh,
So
nice.
all mothers were connected, and we used to share our milestones and pictures and all of that. That really keeps you motivated and happy.
Yeah.
So you share things with people. Maybe you're not physically meeting every day, but you're able to share so much, and that's why you need to have that community, that set of people around you to lift you up.
Okay, that's lovely. I have actually a very interesting question to ask you.
Okay.
If your child could describe you in 3 words, what would they say?
Suhan generally calls me a cartoon. I'm telling you, he thinks his mother is a cartoon. That's how I deal with him all the time. But on a serious note, I think he'll call me a learner. He knows that I'm learning every day, and I love to learn new things. And I tell him that every day, make mistakes, learn. So I think the second word should be a learner.
Yeah.
Third word could be multitasker. He knows Mama cannot sit idle and she has to keep doing things.
something.
And I've been trying to, incorporate that into him also. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but yeah, he'll call me a multitasker.
How nice. I love cartoon.
He calls me cartoon all the time.
But I just realized that you actually live with 2 boys.
Yes, my
And
boys.
As the woman in the house who's introducing all the skincare and all of those things, how tricky is it with men?
It is actually very tricky. So I force upon a lot of things, but I make sure, ek freaky advice I want to give my audience also. So a sunscreen is a must. Any age group, any gender, please don't miss your sunscreens. And I force upon the sunscreen from Astela that not only Suhan uses, I use it. My husband has to use it. So yeah, that's the simplistic skincare the boys use.
No, the beauty is that one product can be used
Yes.
with everybody. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
perfect.
we
So
all
when you're
use
using
it.
it, you just
We share.
Yeah. Amazing. I have a very sweet question
Okay.
to wrap up this segment. How do you want Suhan to remember you as a mother?
Nice. I think my son will always remember that she won't give up. She will not give up, whatever it is, and she'll keep trying. She'll keep doing her bit, and she'll not give up. And that's what he needs to learn also. And I'm also trying that he learns that. Never give up. Make mistakes. Do your bit of failures, but don't give up.
That's gorgeous. Love that. Love that. Thank you so much, Gunika. This has been a lovely conversation. And of course, it's Mother's Day, and we have at Mastella India a lovely surprise for you. Can somebody please bring it on? Sir. Do you want to open it?
Yes. Let's do this.
Okay, you want to open it? It's a sweet little cake. That
Oh,
says,
how pretty.
thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mom. That's so nice. What a beautiful gesture, guys.
Thank you so much, Ganika. We'll now cut this cake. I can't wait to eat it.
Let's do that. Yes.
So thank you so much. Thank you for joining Mastella India for this lovely podcast and for sharing your journey with us. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you.
I'm very grateful for having me. Thank you so
Thank
much.